Welcome back to MMA Al Dente. I am the guy who picked Mike Perry to defeat Vicente Luque. And I'm here to talk about the main event for UFC Vegas 87 or UFC Fight Night 238. I really don't know what the fuck this one's called. It's one or the other. I think it's both. Regardless, that main event is Jairzinho Rozenstruik fighting Shamil Gaziev. My prediction for this fight, I've got Shamil Gaziev winning. I think he wins probably quickly, and I guess it happens on the ground. And I don't know if that's ground and pound or rear naked choke, which is his only submission as of now. He's got 3 submissions, all rear naked chokes in round one. But I do think he's going to be looking to take this fight to the ground against Jairzinho Rozenstruik, because Jairzinho Rozenstruik, despite only having been beaten by some of the best fighters in the world, 5 losses, all to excellent top UFC fighters, but despite that, he's still weak on the ground, Jairzinho Rozenstruik. Even he wouldn't dispute that. He's weak on the ground, and I think the options open up if you put him down there. But despite him having 5 losses, Jairzinho Rozenstruik, only one of those losses actually takes place on the ground, one of the finishes anyway, and it's Jailton Almeida, who got him out of there in his last fight with a rear naked choke in round one. Before that, his other finish losses are both on the feet to Alexander Volkov and Francis Ngannou. Fucking monsters. And then the 2 guys that beat him by decision, I may as well list them, Cyril Gane and Curtis Blades. So he's only lost to the best heavyweights of his day, and Jailton Almeida is still not done climbing. Who knows where he's going to end up. But again, despite that, and him having only lost to guys up here, it doesn't mean Rozenstruik is quite up here. And if you're able to take him down, you open up a whole new realm of weaknesses. And he's not the easiest guy to bulldoze, but I do think Shamil Gaziev is the better, well-rounded fighter, and I think he's capable of bulldozing Jairzinho Rozenstruik, and that's what I'm picking to happen. He bulldozes him in 1 round, pretty much, maybe a little longer. I don't know, but Gaziev, he's much more inclined to strike. The guy, and he's a fucking problem on the feet. He's a little bigger than Rozenstruik. He's got 2 inches of height, and I think their reach is the same. But he's a big guy, and he's faster than Rozenstruik, because Rozenstruik is a slower, plodding fighter. He's got a wealth of kickboxing experience, and still, though, he's not Adesanya. He's a guy that's biding his time and trying to hit you with a deceptively quick left hook, which is, I'd say, the best weapon between either fighter in this fight. It's Rozenstruik's left hook. But Gaziev's never been finished, never been beaten. He's 12-0. He's been beaten as an amateur, but that's amateur. One of the guys submitted him, this guy Gregory Popadayev or whatever, and then they rematched as pros, and Gaziev was able to take him out in round 2 in a pretty grueling fight where it looked like I thought he would be getting tired. I thought he was getting tired, but he didn't go anywhere, and he put the guy out in round 2. It was an impressive victory. And that's it. I mean, he's as a pro, he's undefeated. He's not faced too much adversity. He had this one fight that was a split decision over this guy Kirill Kornilov, and that was a fight that he definitely should have won. A unanimous decision. I didn't think there was much dispute there. He had some dicey moments. A guy locked up a Kimura from the guard and forced a sweep, but he kept his composure, and I thought he kept himself safe and kept himself on top, generally speaking, and got the better of Kornilov. He's passed every test that's been put in front of him. Martin Budai, I predicted would be too much for him, that next level fight, and instead it was the exact opposite. I knew pretty quickly in that fight that I got that one wrong, and I think here Gaziev, hopefully, if he's a smart fighter and he's given himself different options, here he's going to be looking to take the fight to the ground, which is easier said than done. It's not like, oh, you just take Rozenstruik to the ground. Otherwise, everybody would have done it. But I do think Gaziev is that much better, bigger, and stronger of a well-rounded heavyweight and a youngster where he's going to be able to get Rozenstruik to the ground and then bulldoze him. That's the pick. I've got Shamil Gaziev. I've played him at minus 140 or minus 145. And here he's sitting still at minus 155. And I do think there's value there, but there's also even value on the under. I'm not crazy about under round 1.5 rounds, uh, over 1.5. A lot of times I like, but under 1.5, not as crazy as often about that. But here in this one, I certainly think it's very possible. Of course, Rozenstruik's got that power where that can shut anybody's lights out. But also, I think if he is to lose this fight, he's going to be dominated, and it's going to be happening very early, very quickly, and the finish will come early and quickly. Shamil Gaziev via the ground, submission, or TKO is the pick. Like, share, subscribe, all that horse shit, and check out my other videos.